I was running out of time to prepare for the battle with the dragon. I still wanted to research witchcraft for defense and attacks that might be useful during the fight. I also wanted to create an angel wing artifact, a powerful ring that would allow a person to fly without changing their form. If there was any time left after those endeavors, I would put it to use working on the Thaumcraft chambers. I feel as though I could defeat the dragon single-handed if I had to. I certainly would do it alone if it meant regaining the freedom to travel anywhere that I please in Utopia. So here we are in the Witchery hut. Not too much change here. I added another fume funnel to the top of the witch oven. I discovered that you could add a total of 3 of these, 1 to each side, which and it looks different depending on which side of the witch oven that you put it on. You get the fume funnel there, fume funnel there. They look slightly different. And then when you put one on the top, it gives it this little bit of extra bit of a tall chimney. Which is kind of nice because it actually kind of looks like it's you know, kind of going up a little closer to the vent in the chimney there. So the other thing that I did was I gave Lydia Ravensloft, yeah, there we go, Lydia, yeah, whatever. I gave her one of those nice wooden crates that I seen Nemsun using on his villagers, and so now she stays in that one spot. She's kind of like stuck on that crate, and she won't move around or anything, so she's not like jumping on the furniture and getting in the way. The reason I wanted her to stay in one spot is because she kept getting in the way of the new potion shelf that I put over here. You see that holds the fumes and all the things that you the potion type stuff from Witchery. It holds it quite well and displays it quite nicely. So I also got me a Bloodwood bookcase up there for the Witchery books. I'm going to probably end up making some of those because there's just so much involved in Witchery that it's hard to keep track of now. This is actually the second time I've had to start this video because the first time I got about 15 minutes in, made some stuff, and then my computer did a blue screen of death and I lost that footage. Sorry. So what you missed was I had to create some mutandis, the stuff right here. I'll just show you the recipe, which is some cactus, some wood ash, eggs, bone meal, mandrake, and I explained about mandrake. When you harvest them in the daytime, they have a high probability of popping out this little guy that runs around in circles and makes you dizzy, and you have to kill him in order to get the mandrake root. There you go. If you harvest them at night, there's a much smaller chance that those things will actually pop out and drive you nuts. So best time to harvest mandrake is at night, and I don't know if it helps it to be closer to midnight or not, but I mean if it goes based off of the actual mythology of mandrake, you're supposed to harvest it at midnight. So. And to get the cactus, I had like 1 cactus that I had found in a dungeon that was planted in a potted plant. And I brought that down here and put it on the shore. And because I'm wearing my green jeans, whenever I get near this thing, it just, the cactus just start, you know, breaking off because I put this block right here in the middle. So it's a nice little manual cheapy cactus farm. If I put like a hopper hawk nearby here, I could easily gather all the cactus I would ever need for whatever. But now, yeah, I have cactus right down there for when I need it to make the mutandis or whatever else I might need cactus or cactus green for. Then I went and used the mutandis. You got to use mutandis before you can really get into witchery. You need to get a hold of these special sapperlings: the rowan sapling, the hawthorn sapling, and the adler sapling. Those all break down into these special ones here. The Whiff of Magic comes from the Rowan. The Whiff of Misfortune, I believe that's the Adler, yes. And then the Odor of Purity is the Hawthorn. So that's how you get those 3 things. And then these ones, the Foul Fumes, you can get from a bunch of different things. You can get it from cooking wood into charcoal, from cooking food in the witch's oven. The Hint of Rebirth is from... That one is... Yeah, the Hint of Rebirth is from the Spruce Sapperlings. Exhale of the Horned One is the Oak. And Breath of the Goddess comes from Birch Sapperlings. So whenever you process those in your witch's oven, you have some clay jars here. You have a chance of catching some of those fumes for it. And you need those for just about everything going forward in witchery. So first thing I decided I would make is, if we come down here into the secret basement under the witch hut, is I made a distillery. And to get that distillery, I had to make a attuned stone, and that's why I needed to get the Whiff of Magic before I could really get into, making anything else. And then once I got that made, I remembered that this requires it to be close to an altar for it to receive magical power. Now, you notice that it's still not quite close enough to the altar, and then I had to make an altar, put it back here where I had the placeholders, and I planted all these different trees. We've got some rowan, dark oak, birch, we see hawthorn, and this one over here is the adler. And the Biomes of Plenty trees do work for increasing the power. So I got some pink cherry and some white cherry. And the Natura trees also work. I've got some maple and some tiger wood there. Not the golfer. And I've got a jungle tree over here. So I have a little bit of, or a whole lot of different kind of trees. And you can see that increases the power right now, sitting at 2,230. And we're going to get that up higher before the end of the episode here. But the reason it's not connecting to that down there is it's just a little bit out of the range of the altar. The altar by default has a range of 16 blocks from the altar. So it's like, I think that's like 18 or 19 out of the way. But there's a way to increase that. So I was just making this item when I crashed before. So let's come on up here and get the stuff that we need to make it now. What I need to make is an Arthana, which is like a basically like a ritual knife for witchery. So that's going to take some gold nuggets. What was the other thing there? An emerald. Actually, I want to make 2 of these, so because I want to have one for the altar and one to carry with me. So, and then the other thing I need is some sticks. Actually, it's getting close to the dark time. Let's hurry up and sleep off the night. And you can see the message. I was talking to Mr. Thrak. I was telling him that I was attempting. This is my second attempt at this recording, so hopefully I don't lose this one this time. And then something else I actually showed in that video that got lost is this thing, the portable dual work table. This thing's awesome. You don't actually need to go place down a crafting station or anything anywhere. You can open this thing up and you can see that it keeps its inventory. So whatever you put in here stays in here, and it has 2 work table grids so that you can actually set up 2 different recipes at any given time. And also it's really nice if you happen to be crafting something, then you realize that you actually need to craft something else for the recipe over here. You could just do it in this grid, and that makes it really nice. It works the same as a regular crafting station that you would put down. See there, I can close it. It keeps its inventory, and I open it up and then add this back in here. And there we go, Arthana and Arthana. I actually don't want that gold to stay in there. We'll put that one away because I don't need that one. Got one too many out. So, and then there's something else that I want to go ahead and put on my altar, which is a wither skull head. There's some other things I'm going to end up putting on there too, but this one I have handy, so we'll just go ahead and slap it on there and see what it does. So if we again look at it beforehand, we see that it's 2,230 and it has a 1x charging rate. That's what that means there. So I don't think when I put the Arthana on there it's going to change anything. I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. Shift click it and it goes onto there. It doesn't change any of these numbers in here, but what that's going to do now is it should now link to the distiller, because the Arthana is effectively going to double the range that the altar can send power to things. See, the X is gone, and now I could use this to start distilling some things. That's excellent. So this right here, we're gonna actually, I think I'm gonna give it a nice, put it at a nice angle on there. Again, you have to shift click to put it on there. And if I look in here, you can see that that has not only tripled the amount of power available, but it's also tripled the recharge rate too. So that's a very powerful item for your witch altar right there, the Wither Skeleton Skull. So definitely want to get your hands on one of them. Now, there's going to be a couple other things that I want to put in here, like a candelabra. I forget there's a third thing too, but I'll probably just end up putting those things in later because I have more than enough power right now to do what I need to do for the rest of the episode. So now that my distiller is working, I should be able to continue on in the witchcraft. Let's see here. I think the next thing I need is a spinning wheel. I don't want the Dagocraft one, I want the Witchcraft one, so I'm going to need these attune stones. I made a few of these attune stones, and they're, again, that's a whiff of magic, diamond, and a lava bucket gives you these attune stones. And you use those a lot in witchery. So I'm going to need one of them. I have that. I need some sticks, some wool, and a bunch, and some item frames. So let's go grab all that stuff up, craft up a spinning wheel, and then we'll have our spinning wheel. Basically, I just want to get all of the witchy items that I'm going to need for crafting higher tier witchcraft stuff for later on. And eventually, the idea is I want to be able to make some brews. So I'm going to need 4 pieces of leather and a bunch of sticks. And I might as well keep using this workstation. And leather, give me 4 of those. Now I don't think, yeah, you can't shift click into this. So stick, stone, oh, I need a piece of wool. Maybe if I had the piece of wool. Let me get the piece of wool and I'll try one more time to do the shift click thing. I'm pretty sure that it is not going to work though. Oh, it does work. If it looks like it's not showing the item up over here, just click here anyway, because that's an occasional visual glitch where it doesn't show the outcome. That was kind of, I can shift click into that. That's very nice. I like that. So portable dual work table, very, very useful. And if we look at the recipe for this, it's really not too terrible to make. A net is just a few bits of stick and a string. The dual work table is just 2 work tables and some wood. And a work table is just a chest and a crafting table. So, and the work table basically keeps its inventory, very similar to the workbench from Tinker's Construct. So, this thing, I'm kind of running out of space in here. Where do I want to put it? Do I want to have it down here someplace? I kind of don't. It's really cramped down here too. So, no, I was just thinking I'd put it there, but I can't put it there because that's where I get down into the basement. Well, I could put it on top of here. Not sure that that would look right. Or I could put it outside someplace. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go with outside. Yeah, why not? Like right there. Looks okay, I guess. I need to have it someplace. Yeah, I would normally have it. I think I was originally intending to put it where she's standing, but I want to keep her standing there. Unless I moved Unless I move the witch someplace else. Or got rid of the armor stand, but I want to keep the armor stand for when I actually get the witch outfit. I do want to work towards that. Let's move on though, because it's not vital or important about where I put the spinning table. So the next thing is going to be, let's just look at all the witch items, witchery stuff, because I'm looking for a kettle next, and that's going to be an attuned thing, some string, cauldron, some sticks. That's not too difficult. Let's go grab that stuff up. Gonna need some iron, I believe. I think I should have everything up here available to me. And come around, some iron. And there's a cauldron. I need to get the string. That should be about enough. So cauldron, there we go. Or kettle, I mean. So this is how we're going to be brewing our witchy potions and stuff. And hopefully some of those potions I might, I'm going to have to actually look at what all is available to me. And that's going to involve crafting a book of that's added by witchcraft and stuff. And you know what I need to do is I need to light that fire before I put this in there. So let me see. There we go. I have a flint and steel ready to go. So light that, and then all I need to do is place that kettle there, and I have a water source right here. No problem with that. I might want to get a bucket and put it on the wall down there as a permanent for a permanent water moving thingy. Let's see here. Get the table back out. Craft some. I really like the drying rack just for the display purposes of it. It really is nice for that. Not bad to use it for actually drying meat either, but I think it works better as it's better purposes as a display item. We'll just actually go ahead and put them both right there. And I need to put a bucket there. There we go. There's a bucket hanging for whenever I need to fill the cauldron. Very good. Very good. Okay, so actually, let me go ahead and fill this up with clay jars. So that is ready. We'll go. That one's already topped off, and I'm gonna put my empties, the extra empty ones, in here for now. Got plenty of wood ashes. I might need to put those in a drawer. So I guess the next thing would be to make one of the witchcraft books so that I can actually learn how to do the different things in witchcraft and make the items that I want to make. Especially the brewing stuff, because that seems to be one of the things I'm primarily interested in. The other thing I'm very interested in getting together today is a poppet shelf. So I'm going to need to make some more attuned stones. That's actually not that bad. That's actually kind of cheap. And the reason I want that poppet shelf is because it will load the chunk that it is in. It'll force load the chunk that it's in. And that is going to be able to temporarily solve the issue that I'm having with these advanced filter hoppers losing their items every time I log off and log on, or leave the area and come back. They lose their inventory, which makes me lose an item, because then I have to reload those. I did inform Ganny of the bug. Hopefully he's taking a look at it, and the next release of the Ganny's End will have a fix for that. So anyway, just sleep off the night here, and then I'll get back to making something. What was I making? Oh yeah, actually I'm gonna go with the poppet shelf. So let me go grab some lava, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I've got myself a bunch of buckets of lava. I still have some diamonds, and I believe, what was the other thing for that? Was it... oh yeah, the whiffs of magic. So let me go grab those, and we'll craft up a bunch more attune stones, and we should have enough to make the poppet shelf and possibly some other stuff. So whiffs of magic is on there. 6, 7, 8, and 9 to go with the 9 buckets of lava that I got. And I'm just going to craft these all up. There we go. At least you get your bucket back with this. I've had to do several recipes recently that you don't get your bucket back for, including those fume filters, that extra fume filter that I made. Those things are very expensive. If we look at that right here, you can see that it's 2 blocks of iron in these buckets and stuff, so it's a lot of iron. The only bucket you get back is the bucket that had the lava in it. So yeah, those are very expensive, but well worth it because each one increases the percentage chance that you get a fume whenever you process something in there. So you definitely want to have them if you're going to have your witch's oven, you're going to be a witch. You definitely want to use those. So let me, I'm actually going to put this Arthana away because I don't think I'm going to be using it anytime soon. Basically what it is, if you kill a mob with the Arthana, particular mobs, like say a witch or a or bat, it has a higher chance of dropping a witchcraft related item. So if a mob drops a witchery item like wool the bat, witch hands, ant twigs, like from the tree ants, and that's one of the things that I lost in the video is when I was cutting down all the trees, because I was growing these trees and then just cutting them right down. I had to do quite a few of them because I did 1 stack of each of the saplings, processed them, rowan saplings and everything. But when I was cutting those all down, whenever you're cutting down witchery trees, there's a small chance that an ant will spawn, a witchery ant, tree ant, and when you kill those, you have a chance of getting their ant twigs, which is useful in spells later. And then one of the cool things I discovered is if I was cutting down trees kind of near this the demon altar, I could lure the tree ants near the demon altar and they would get stuck in there and they'd be really easy to kill. So that's something to consider if you happen to be doing both blood magic and witchery, and you're trying to get tree ants and you want to kill them easily. They're not too crazy difficult. They do hit pretty hard if you don't have good armor though. So oh yeah, we was making a poppet shelf for loading purposes. Now, where is it at? I think I need a piece of wool. What else am I going to need for that poppet shelf? And some nether bricks. I got plenty of nether bricks. If we come look over here and look. Sometimes I move so quick I have a hard time getting through certain doors. But there we go, nether bricks, and I'm in blaze form right now, so I gotta be careful in case it rains. I could get hurt. So pull those extra diamonds out. I think it was nether bricks like so. Diamonds around like that, and a piece of wool in the middle. No? Maybe it needs to be a very specific color wool? It does. It has to be green wool. Well, it just so happens that I have some cactus here in my inventory. And if I just toss those in one of these furnaces real quick, I can get a piece of cactus green, and I really only need the 1 green wool. I know this is kind of wasteful on the coloring, but it's really not that hard to get. For me to get the cactus, you've seen how fast they grow when I stand over there, so now we'll do that again, and that, and we'll get a poppet shelf. There we go. And this is going to allow me to force load that chunk. So I'm not going to show on my video exactly where it's at. So well, I guess I will show. I want to place it in the chunk itself because I don't want to trick the game into loading another chunk. So let's look at the chunk lines real quick. So this is the chunk where the the filters are at down there, the filtering hoppers. So this is the one that's going to get loaded eventually. It's also got a garden here that will like continuously grow and everything. I kind of want to have one over here where the blood mage or the blood altar is at as well, so that would continue to feed my my blood network when I was not near my base. But I may make a second one of these. I don't know. But here's what it is. When you open it, it has a small amount of space where you can store poppets. And if a poppet is on this shelf, it will affect you as if it was in your inventory. So if you want to put a protection poppet in there, you want to put like a the poppet that prevents you from dying. And there's some other poppets that are useful too, and we may get into that. I don't think it's gonna be in this episode, but I just wanted to show you that a poppet, and you can use it to force load a chunk, and it's also useful for the fact that it can save you from other witches. It can save you from dying. It can save you from like fall damage and some other things that it can do. It can prevent you from drowning if you make the right poppets to go in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this placed, and I'll be back in a moment. And I'm back. I've got that all placed. Hopefully that will do the trick that I'm hoping it'll do. And I'm going to get some poppets together possibly for that. I'm not going to do that on camera though, because poppets are really not too hard to place. I'll just show you the recipe real quick. It's not too crazy. Poppets, they all start with this poppet thing, which is what you need the Spanish moss for. Some bone needles, which are just bone and flint, gives you 8 needles. String and wool. Then you take that and apply different things. You can get the earth protection poppet. That's the one that prevents you from taking fall damage. There's the water protection, prevents you from drowning. Hunger protection, prevents you from starving to death. Fire protection will give you, whenever you go like fall in the lava or you catch on fire for any reason, it will give you a short buff of fire resistance. So the voodoo protection prevents you from being voodooed with a voodoo poppet. The poppet protection poppet, I'm not 100% sure on how this one works, but I believe it protects you from being from one of the other poppets specifically. Tool protection prevents your tools from breaking. Armor protection prevents your armor from breaking. And then the death protection poppet. So if anything would ever happen to try to kill you, like say you fall in the lava and you're about to burn to death, it'll prevent that death, and then it'll give you a short duration invulnerability to whatever tried to kill you. So if you were dying in the fire, it would stop you. It would stop you from dying, and then it would give you a fire resistance buff. If you were drowning, it would prevent that death and then give you a water breathing buff for a short period of time. I'm not sure what buff it gives you if you're going to be killed by a mob or whatever, but it will prevent that death. And then there's the vampiric poppet. This is an interesting one because it will redirect any damage that you would normally take. It would redirect it to the person that you voodoo with this. So this is kind of a voodoo-y poppet. And one of the things this is one of the ones that the other poppets might protect you from, like say the voodoo protection poppet or the poppet protection poppet. So, and that's poppets. You put those on your shelves, and they have to be in your inventory to work or in your poppet shelf, one or the other. So, I'm gonna make a few of those off camera and get my poppet shelf loaded up with all kinds of fun protections to prevent me from having to worry about certain things in the future. So here we go, some witchery. So one final thing I want to do in witchery before I move on to the next thing is I want to make a brew just to I've never actually done it, to be honest. To be 100% honest, I've never actually got as far in witchery as to make a brew. So let's see if we can get to that before the end of this video. So one of the things that might be nice, I know all about collecting fumes, so I don't feel like I need to make that book. I will eventually make it just for the completionist in me. I will end up making all the books here from Witchery. You see there's a bunch of them, a few of them are scattered. All these witchery books. This is the one, I think, distilling. maybe. I think I need distilling and brews and infusions. Those are the two that I'm going to need in order to get what I want to do, I think. So belladonna, ink sacs, feather, and a brew at Breath of the Goddess, and some books. So let me go grab a few books and the other stuff to make this. And then we'll, once I get it made, we'll take a look inside real quick and see if we can make a brew. I think it's feathers. What was the other thing? Ink sacs. We'll get a few of those. And then I think the rest of the stuff was down here. And so let's double check this one real quick, the infusion ones. Okay, this is just a different potion thingy from my potion shelf in here. So I need a Breath of the Goddess and a Odor of Purity. And I'll put that there. I think the feather was on this side, ink there. It was, I think, belladonna. I have a bunch of that. 2 belladonna on top, and then one was the, well, there's distilling, and then the other one is brews and infusions. Very nice. So this is another one of those mods that has pretty good in-game documentation. But there's a bunch of different books depending on what part of witchery you're working on, because there's several parts. There's symbology, book of biomes. So there is actually the ability with witchcraft to alter the biomes in the world. So that's a possibility using some kind of circle magic and stuff. Conjuration and fetishes. Circle magic, that's going to be an important one to get into at some point. So what's that whiff of magic? I don't think I have enough of the stuff to make another book, but these are the two I want to work with today. The distilling, basically, results. So, okay, this is just a list of what you can distill and what it gives. So this book is not going to be this book's not really going to be extremely useful for me because I have NEI, and with NEI, I think actually let's look at what's one of the things that comes out of that brewing station. There we go, the distillery. So you can see that NEI will show me what I got to put into the distiller and what I'm going to get out of it. So this book is not going to be overly useful. Now this one here, the brews and infusions, is going to be good because I don't believe any of these things are going to... so let's see, brew of thorns, brew of webs. Let's look at one of those. Let's change my search to brew. So if I click on any of these, oh, it does actually show me. Oh, and it says kettle. Well, that's slightly disappointing that I made these books when I could have just used NEI to search all this stuff, but that's okay because they'll go nice on the bookshelf. And I'll probably end up making them all just for the, like I said, just for the completionist in me. And let's see, what would be a good one to use, to potentially use against the dragon? I don't know that any of these are going to be particularly great against the dragon. So, brew of love, brew of the depths, brew of frog's tongue. I have no idea what that might do. Brew of cursed leaping, pagoda, infection, maybe. Brew of sleeping. This might be something that I want to make just because that's going to get me over in the dream realm, and that's going to get me closer to being able to make these witch items, or the witch's outfit. So let's look at that real quick. So what's it take? Golden thread. Actually, I can do that right now. Witch's hat and witch's robe. I actually have a cursed creeper heart or two. And there's a brew bag, so that must be something that lets you carry your brews in, so you can have a bunch more of them. Solidifying brew, stone. Brew of hollow tears. Solidifying. Oh, these must actually like make an area of this particular whatever. Stone, dirt, sand, sandstone. erosion. I imagine that removes stuff. So, brew of revealing and brew of substitution. I have no idea. Brew of substitution sounds like it would be like the wand of equal trade. We'll have to get into that at a later time. So let me at least make one that I think is going to be useful in the future, which is going to be the brew of sleeping. What's that going to take? Some whiff of magic and some purified milk. Purified milk is odor of purity and some jars, and some, that's not hard at all. So I can get the milk. Uh-oh, sun's about to go down. And I don't want to spend too much more time on this witchcraft, because that's other stuff I want to get to. I want to make that ring, and I wanted to get into a tiny bit of Thaumcraft related stuff. At least show you one specific thing that I want to do. You notice the cows are not up on top of the house no more. I did, in fact, fix this up out here. I fixed the barn. It's all repaired and, you know, inside and out. And I moved the cows up here. So let's get a few things of milk so we can make a bit of this. And I leveled this whole area out back here because this is all going to be farmland. I'm going to have various things farm back here. I want to have a wheat farm, carrots, potatoes, and cotton. I'm not sure what else I might farm back there, but those are the main things. And as long as we're talking about farms, I will quickly show you my sugar farm, which is pretty straightforward. It's got a block update detector, and then basically as the sugar gets tall enough, all these pistons go off. And what I do when I want to collect sugar is I just come over here and stand here with my sigil of magnetism on, and you'll see that in a very short period of time it'll quickly, I'll have all the sugar cane and sugar that I could want for a while. See, just like that, and I've already got almost a full stack. So that's my sugar farm, and if I set it up with a hopper hawk or something, it would actually be automatic, and it would continue to make sugar even when I wasn't near it, or sugar cane that would be collected when I wasn't near it. So let's get this going. Let's get some purified milk. Okay, so you do need glass bottles whenever your potion is ready to come out of the kettle. So to get that out, you need the glass bottles. So let's start by throwing in all these ingredients. There we go, and when you see the white whiffs and stuff, that means it is ready to be extracted. And let's see what I get. 1, 2, 3 potions of love. Alright. Okay, so now I want to make a potion, or I want to brew a brew of sleeping, which is going to be 1 potion of love, and with magic, all that stuff. So, potion of love, a cookie, an icy needle, a whiff of magic, a purity, and a water artichoke. So now if I throw it, before I do that, I need to be sure and get a bucket of water. I'll put my bucket back up there. We'll put another bucket there. And what did my cookie. There we go. So now I should be good to go. Throw these all in there. You can see that right now it has the dark whiffs of smoke coming out of it. That means it's not ready, or it's not complete, or it's an incorrect recipe. So when you get the white whiffs, that means it's done. It's correct recipe and it's ready. It's actually going to produce something that you want. Well, it's going to produce something. It may not be what you want if you didn't put the right stuff in there. But there we go. We got brews of sleeping, and those are gonna let me go visit the dream realm, and we'll do that in a different episode because I want to move on to get some other things done today. I bet these could go on a potion stand. I'm gonna have to put another potion stand up, which I have some right here. Let's go ahead and put one up there, and we'll put there we go. Put those right on there. There, looks good. And let's put them on the bottom. We'll start on the bottom and fill it up towards the top. So there we go. We'll put our brews up there. that we get throughout the thing. So let me clean up my inventory, gather the stuff I need to make my angel ring artifact thing, and I'll be back in a minute again. Okay, I think I have everything I need here. Let me double check the recipe on the wings that I want. I actually want the dragon wings. I think they're red, so that probably look good with my armor. So if I decide that they don't look good, I can later craft the invisible rings by just adding 2 pieces of glass to any of the other wings. So you can switch them around after you get them created. But I'm going to start with the dragon wings and see what those look like. And like I said, if I don't like them, I can always change them to the invisible ones, and then it will just look like I'm flying without any wings at all. So 4 pieces of gold around another star in the middle, unstable ingots in the corners, and leather here. So one of the things that's key to these unstable ingots is they must be crafted in a vanilla crafting table. They will not work in any other crafting grid. The other thing that's key is that you do not close the crafting grid at any time during the crafting process, because you will blow up, and you only have 10 seconds to use the crafting components. So you'll see what I'm doing right here is I'm filling up my inventory with cobblestone. That's going to force, so I want to put the division sigil right in the center, diamonds right below it, and the iron above it. So unstable ingots. Those unstable ingots are going to end up right there, and I actually want to move this stuff over a little bit. Just got to get my mind ready, and then as soon as I'm ready, I'm going to shift click these. They're going to show up right here. I'm going to grab the nether star, replace the division sigil, move the, let me double check the recipe, move the unstable ingots into the lower corners, put the gold and the leather in there, and craft it. Hopefully all within less than 10 seconds or I blow up. So here we go. Hey, I got it. Dragon wings. So now if I go to a third person view, you should be able to see that I have dragon wings. Actually, those do look pretty good with the armor. I'm going to keep it. I'm definitely going to keep it. So let me go sleep off this night, and then we're going to get into some just a little bit of Thaumcraft. Nothing too major, not going to be doing any kind of research or anything like that, but I wanted to show you one nice trick in this mod pack for auto-filling your cauldron, which I have not moved up there yet. I have not moved a cauldron yet because this has, and this is one of the things I needed in order to be able to, let me get that up out of there, get all that stuff. Oh yeah, because come on. Pick, there we go. Because I needed to make some stuff with the crucible before I could make my infusion altar. And now I'm done with this crafting table for now. I know I'm using a pick, I should be using my axe, but didn't feel like getting it out. Let's come on back in here and go down to where I'm actually going to have the crucible. So the crucible is going to sit right here. As usual, I'm going to have a niter there to prevent it from catching the wood on fire. And as usual, I'm going to be using my trapdoor with micro blocks and stuff in order to keep it from having any kind of escaping flux. But before all of that, I need to craft something very, very special. There is an infinite water source from Ganny's End, which is some ender pearls around this infinite bucket. And the infinite bucket is 4 buckets of water, some gold, and some ender pearls. So let's go grab up some gold. And I think I'm going to might as well grab the iron that I need for the second part of the crafting as well. That should be enough. And then all I need to do is pull out some more, but I keep using up these buckets. That's okay. This is well worth it because not only is it going to keep my cauldron full, I won't have to make a golem and depend on a golem for it. You know, so that's one less entity in the area. I don't know how much that actually means for lag or any of that stuff, but I try to avoid golems if I can because they're sometimes a little dumb. So first, oh, I need to ender. No, that's right. So I need to make this first, which is gold. I need the ender pearls. Gold there? Is that right? And no. How about like that, and then now I just add 2 ender pearls to it and it'll be ready to go. I'll go grab those. I have plenty of them up here somewhere. I always have trouble getting through that one door. It doesn't help that I move it at like Mach 5. So there we go. Ender pearls, I need 2 for this. And this is nice. This is an infinite water bucket. I could just fill anything I need to. This would be really good, like down by the kettle, and also for the petal apothecary. For Botania, this would be a good way to keep that stuff filled without ever needing to go refill a bucket from an infinite water source. This is an infinite water source in a bucket. So, but I want to take it a step further. I want to get a placeable block that is an infinite water source. 3, 4. So put that in there and then surround it by iron and put ender pearls on the corners. Is that right? Is that not right? Did I get it backwards? I got it backwards. There we go. Infinite water source. And this thing is good. It'll fill any adjacent inventory with water that will accept water. Let me grab that out of there, that cobblestone, and there we go. See, filled it right up with water, and in a moment it'll start bubbling because it has the niter below it. So all I need to do now is go ahead and you see there it's boiling. Place my hatch back on there, redisguise it, and add the bits of stone around it that were there. And I might have to go find some new ones because I think I lost or maybe even threw away the other micro blocks that I had that were cut stones. Not even sure where I would look for that stuff. I know that I've moved everything up here, and if it's not in one of these right here, and there's only one other inventory that it might be in, which is this building material stuff, which it's not. So I guess the next question is, where do I leave my saw? So do I still even have a saw? That's a good question. The saw might have been one of the... Oh, I do have a saw. Good. It's a diamond saw. I thought maybe the saw might have been one of the things I lost when in the couple times I lost my inventory back when I started on the server. But no, I'm good there. So saw this up. I need some strips. There we go. So what these little micro blocks will do for the cauldron is, because there's blocks all the way around it, and every, except for this block right here doesn't have any, and this block here doesn't have any. This block here has that little micro block corner. So all I got to do is add these 2 strips to the side here, and basically, since all of the blocks around it are occupied, the flux cannot form. So no matter how much you throw in there, in the cauldron, it'll never allow any flux out because all of these surrounding blocks are completely occupied. At least it looks occupied to the cauldron. You know, even though it's just this tiny little micro block, that whole block is occupied by something. So, so no flux will ever come out of that cauldron. So, and that's my I guess. I want to say famous, but really I don't think anybody knows about it. I don't see anybody else using this method in their videos. So if you like this method, be sure and leave a comment and share it with all your friends and stuff, because this is a flux-free cauldron. So that's the main thing. The next thing is I want to use this cauldron to make a bunch of candles, because those candles are going to be my occult items for down under here. I think a wisp might be... Ooh, yikes. And you can see I have this area underneath here and I want to fill this entire area with candles. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9 by 9 area that I'm going to fill with candles. So that's 81 candles. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So I need 81 candles to go down in there. And then I'm going to put my infusion altar here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that stuff off camera, but I wanted to show you the infinite water source, flux-free cauldron. It's super awesome. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have no golems around it. It'll always be full with water. It'll never let any flux out of it. And it's just super awesome. So, okay, this pirate tip of the day is going to be pretty closely related to the last one. So last time we talked about infinite slime balls. This time we're going to talk about infinite torches. And while we're on the subject of ropes plus arrows, we'll look at some of the other ones. The dirt arrow doesn't give you extra dirt, but it does allow you to place dirt at a distance. The exploding arrow blows things up, similar. Not quite as powerful as an explosion as a TNT, but it does make a little dent. Fire arrows set things on fire. Seed arrows are kind of nice because you'll often get flowers wherever they land. They'll plant a flower. Frost arrows, I'm not sure. I think they'll freeze water or create a block of ice. Penetrating arrows, I do believe, will penetrate an enemy's armor. The slime arrows we covered. Torch arrows are what I'm about to show you. Warp arrows, as far as I could tell last time when I tried to make them, they did not actually work. So I don't know if there's a bug or if it's intentionally not working. And then confusion arrows, I'm not really sure. I'm confused about them. And the rope arrow is another one that allows you to get like an infinite resource because it takes one rope to make the rope arrow. You shoot it at a wall, it drops a rope, and then you can collect that rope and get you'll have a bunch of rope. So it's kind of a way to get an infinite amount of rope. And then the redstone torch arrow. I don't know that. Yeah, see, this will let you get 4 redstone torches from 1 redstone torch. So this is another one of those infinite. So if you need a bunch of redstone torches, you could just make these arrows, shoot them. So we're going to shoot a torch arrow. Wait, not shoot regular arrows. I don't even know if I... No, it should have been a torch arrow. There it goes, torch arrow. And it places a torch in the world. And the thing about that is it takes 1 torch to make 4 torch arrows. So basically, for the cost of a stick and a feather, sticks and feathers, those you don't get back, but you do get the torch back. So now I could break this torch, use that to craft 4 more arrows, and go on and on until I had a big stack of torches. And they're really nice in a dungeon because you can, light the dungeon up from a distance and stuff. And like I said, redstone torches work the same way with this. For 1 redstone torch, I'll get 4 arrows. I'll be able to place 4 redstone torches and then go around and pick those up and create more redstone torch arrows. So yeah, so that's my pirate tip of the day for this episode. So hopefully next one I can come up with something good again. I know that this one isn't really super cheaty or anything, but it is kind of a nice trick. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure and leave a like, comment, a thumbs up, and all that fun stuff if you did. And even if you didn't, go ahead and leave a comment anyway. I'd like to hear how you think I could do better next time. So till next time, I'll catch you later.